Alan Mack.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's a great pleasure to follow my honourable friend, the member for Brentwood and Ongar. He made an excellent speech, and I know he comes to this issue from a lot of experience at the Centre for Social Justice. I congratulate my honourable friend, the member for Lewis, for her hard work in taking this bill forward, and also my right honourable friend, the member for Tatton, for the work she did initiating this bill. That the bill passed unamended at committee stage reflects both its simplicity and its importance, as well as the hard work of my honourable friend for Lewis, and I hope that she will see the passage of this bill through the House today. Having recently served as the Parliamentary Private Secretary at the Ministry of Justice, this is a bill that is of particular interest to me, and I welcome its provisions because I believe that giving the Secretary of State the powers to authorise public communications providers to disrupt the unlawful use of mobile phones in prisons is an important public policy objective, and these powers are in addition to those on the statute book whereby prison governors can already interfere with such mobile phone communication. So I'm pleased to support the bill today, which I think will strengthen our prison system and also meet the challenges associated with advances in mobile technology and wider criminal activity. Madam Deputy Speaker, I echo my honourable friend for Lewis's sentiments when I say that 13,000 mobile phones and 7,000 SIM cards being found in our prisons in 2016 is still simply too many, and that's why I commend my honourable friend for bringing forward this bill, and I'm sure it will find support from all sides of the House. When I served at the Ministry of Justice, I was able to witness the use of mobile phones in prisons, having visited HMP Pentonville, and where I spoke to the Governor, the Deputy Governor, and also prison staff, and I was also able to speak to some of the prisoners and understand some of their experiences and motivations. And I also understood the difficulty that prison officers have in curtailing their use in prisons, and that's why this bill is so important. Not only does the use of mobile phones in prisons on an unlawful basis undermine the safety and security of prisons, but it also enables criminals to direct illegal activity from behind bars, including organising violence and drug smuggling. And it also harms the rehabilitation process for prisoners, which we heard from a number of speakers in the House today. Madam Deputy Speaker, reoffending is still too high, and it costs the economy around £15 billion a year, but it also means wasted talent and broken families. And whilst there are complex reasons for reoffending, not solely down to the use of mobile phones in prisons, without doubt they can be a serious and contributing factor. From the glamorisation of life behind bars on such sites as Snapchat and Instagram, to the more sinister activities of organising crime from within prisons and associating with former criminal networks, unfettered access to the internet through mobile phones can have a damaging impact on the rehabilitation process. And this is most pronounced when prison officers have told me that they're attempting to break down the gang culture that is often pervasive in many of our prisons and the cycle of violence that often comes with it. If a gang member remains in close contact on the inside, speaking daily, perhaps even continuing illicit activities while in prison, how can we expect to break this bad cycle of behaviour and this gang culture? To change lives, Madam Deputy Speaker, it's of vital importance that we change the habits of prisoners and to break their contact with their criminal fraternity. Equally, for prisoners to be at their most effective, it's important that they work as a true deterrent. In our modern society, where we depend so much on our mobile phones to manage our finances, order food, read the news or update social media, the loss of liberty on the inside should be a truly frightening prospect, entailing tangible disadvantages that are truly punitive. But with the proliferation of mobile phones in prisons, being cut off from the outside world has essentially become completely irrelevant, and we need to reverse that process, and that's why this bill is so important. In fact, the use of mobile phones in prisons is not only harmful to prisoners' rehabilitation, but it could also trigger other bad behaviours, for example, encouraging prisoners to disregard authority and other prison rules. I fear that more videos watched on social media from inside prisons will simply make people less afraid of jail and diminish the impact that jail has as a deterrent. Madam Deputy Speaker, other speakers have reiterated the importance of ensuring that prisoners are able to maintain contact with family members so that they are able to maintain relationships and bring stability to their lives, particularly after they leave prison. I'm delighted that both the Ministry of Justice is taking action to ensure that this is the case and that this bill doesn't diminish that fact. For example, I'm aware that prisons like HMP Berwyn, a Category C prison in Wales, already offers close to 24/7 access to PIN phones so that prisoners can call their loved ones. And as a result, my view is that the use of mobile phones in prisons is no longer necessary because of these measures. I commend the Ministry of Justice and the Minister for ensuring that prisoners who are found with phones inside prison are subject to increased sentences. For example, John Grimshaw, who was found with 2 handsets, a phone battery, a SIM card and a keypad in his cell at HMP Manchester, was subject to a harsher sentence. I think he received a year extra. So it's absolutely right that we continue to punish those who are found inside the prison system with illicit mobile phones. And Madam Deputy Speaker, the final reason why I support this bill is that it does set out a framework that allows the government to future-proof the prison regime. As the 4th industrial revolution accelerates, technology that blocks signals and mobile phones in prisons will soon become more cost-effective and more impactful, and therefore the regime created by my honourable friend's very simple but very effective bill is important to make sure that our prison regime is secure for the future. So, Madam Deputy Speaker, in conclusion, I support the bill today. I hope the Minister and the Secretary of State will work closely with telecommunications companies to ensure that they bring forward the right equipment and the right mobile phone detection software to make sure that we can detect these prisons, to make sure that they're safe, that we allow our prisoners to be rehabilitated. I strongly support this bill and I congratulate my honourable friend, the Member for Lewis, for her hard work.